So apparently the landlords are mad. So honestly, if you can't afford, if you have a quote unquote investment property and you can't afford for the property to be unoccupied, and I mean if the property is not paid off, you cannot afford for it to be unoccupied. You can't afford that investment property. I'm sorry. Unless you're an extremely like risk tolerant person, you can't afford that investment. And I'm not going to feel bad for you. Even if you're like, you chose to own that property, I'm not going to feel bad for you. Renters should not be paying your second mortgage. Just because you have your first house and you're like, okay, I can afford to rent this out. And now I'm going to have them pay my second mortgage and sit back and live for free. That's not how it works. Housing is a right. Like, you should not commodify it. That's what you're doing. And now they're going to sit on the market empty for all this time because you're not going to do the renovations to fix it. No one can move in because it's like not up to code. And then you also don't want to rent to low income people. You don't want to make money. um, if anything, like someone paying rent to you in your quote unquote investment property, that rent should cover their expenses. It should cover the expenses of the home that they're living in, or it should cover your extras that you can't afford outside of your first stream of income. Your investment property is not to pay off your current mortgage. Pretty much the rent should cover anything emergency that happens in the house, should cover emergency expenses so that's not coming out of your pocket. But as landlords, they want to complain about that. They don't want to. Some of those people, that was 20 years of unfixed issues. That was 20 they didn't have to do lead replacement. Should have been done years ago. They could have had the tenants move out and go to a hotel for like a month, and it would have been cheaper than like what they're losing now. And then they also, like some people have said, they can still sell the property. They can make a ton of money. They can make a crap ton of money if they sell the property now. But they don't want that. They want government handouts. They want to complain about renters when they're the actual issue. Admit that you can't afford your investment property. It's another financial burden on you. Someone's right to live is not your right to be lazy and not work. And that's not me being ableist. I do not mean that for people that cannot work. These people physically can, and they want to exploit renters and benefit off of them when they own 4 or 5, 6 houses. It's not right. We literally have a housing crisis. And I'm sure, and it's not healthy, and I don't want to be like, I'm sure any unhoused person would love to live there. It's better than living on the street, but also like it's just not healthy. They need to fix all of that crap, and they just don't want to because they don't want to put in all the money now, the money they didn't put in prior years before, and then they don't want to put in all the money now and feel like they're losing because the rents are capped. This is literally a spillover effect from the landlords' poor decisions, and I agree, they're slumlords. What do you think is going on? And I study financial markets, so that's why I'm like, this is not, your investment property is not an investment. Like, come on. Not if it's not paid off. It's not. See you guys.